but I'm sure that something piqued your interest to get you up if you just woke up out of bed without an alarm. So take you back through here. There's that tornado warning still in effect for northeastern Geneva County with this area of broad rotation now. It has weakened, that's good. Get that little rain cloud emblem off there. Take you back to velocity and we'll zoom it back in. Right here. All right, so it has weakened a lot. That's good. They might cancel the warning. I'm not convinced that they're doing that just yet, but I'm hoping. All right, let's see what's going on here. It looks like we got another area of rotation right in Geneva, and it is on this line. So I got to point that out to you as well. And it looks subtle. I'm telling you, some people might not recognize this, but there is a spot right near Geneva that has some subtle rotation to it. And we can click on different products here. So I'm going to circle that for you right there over the city of Geneva, moving toward the northeast. Possible rotation. So at least some broad rotation. And it is within that line that's coming through. And there's a lot of shear, or enough shear in the atmosphere to create these spin-ups, which is an area of rotation right there along the line, circled right there over Geneva. It's very subtle, but if it were to continue to strengthen and go right across, all right, we are getting on Facebook right now for this tornado threat that we have in the Wiregrass. So if you want to jump on Facebook, feel free to do that. Another one of our options. So this is moving toward just south of High Falls, right here in Geneva County. So moving northeastward. And right now the area is just on the eastern side of town in Geneva. Now this is rotation, but this is not an actual tornado on the ground. There's no tornado warning. It's just something that we're tracking. We're keeping up with it because there can be a few kinks in this line and you don't want anything to catch you off guard. So that's one that I'm going to keep looking at here from scan to scan. I'm going to take you back to the other one. That looks like that might be trying to hold on or strengthen. So got to watch that one. Actually, I'm going to stay on that one for a minute. So East County Road 4, we're seeing that potential spin up that could happen. We're going to get the Hartford cam going here. I'm going to click on that and show you kind of what's happening. So doing a couple things at once. So, all right, it's got some pretty good raindrops on there. Storm definitely happening. Spin this around. So far, I'm just seeing not much definition in the clouds. And let's see here. Well, I did not mean to do that. Let's take this back out. That was my mess up. Sometimes these cameras are a little finicky. So let's take it back, spin it around, get all the directions. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much on the camera, but it is raining pretty good in that area. So there's that spot just east of Geneva now. This is moving about 10 to 15 miles per hour toward the east. And here's our reflectivity. So that area that we're watching, it shows up pretty good. All right, that looks like that's trying to strengthen just southwest of High Falls. I hope this doesn't become our second issue of the day, but yeah, just east of Geneva now. So let's move this back right here. So let's go to the severe thunderstorm warning in Houston County. It's issued because there's some gusty winds probably happening around the Taylor area, Rehoboth area, about to come into town. And reflectivity shows this trying to put a kink in it. And we're seeing that, but it's not impressive yet. So for now, it looks like gusty winds, but Taylor to on the southwest side of the circle, some broad rotation. It's going right through town. So we'll put that right through there, and then it'll head toward the Webb area. If you're just now joining us, it doesn't hurt to get out of this if you're in the town, if you're in the Dothan area, because this is going to put down some gusty winds, some heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning, and you don't want to mess with this. So if you're on the east side of the circle, go inside, get everybody inside. This is coming pretty fast on your heels. Right here around the downtown area, some moderate to heavy rainfall ongoing, and you see that camera view right there of downtown Dothan. Skies are dark, it's raining, you don't want to go outside and see what's going on because potential tornadoes have been already out there. We've already had some really strong rotation in Geneva County. What we don't want to see is rotation to develop right here, because with that kink in it, with that curve, that's where you can get a tornado to form and hide out. That's why we have to check our velocity scans so often, because they can happen just within minutes. So we're not just toggling from product to product to bother you. We're making sure we check all our checks and balances here. But this is moving toward the northeast, toward Webb. Webb still with some heavy rainfall, but the worst of it is on the way. And I'm going to go back to our wind products and show you what else is going on. So right now, if this is updated, it looks like that broad rotation is still from the Taylor area to the west side of Dothan. And there's another view for you. You can tell that you don't want to go outside in this. And we're on Facebook too, so remember that. You can watch on here. If you have to watch on Facebook, you can do that. And maybe you got both options going. And I've seen every option going before in a household that you can have. So it's good to do all you can. But this warning okay, that's not good. Looks like we're seeing a tightening just northeast of Taylor in this line right here. It's just north of Ridgecrest Loop, coming up to Winfield Way. And that circle for you is right here. It's evident that this is trying to tighten. So make sure that you are paying attention. I'm checking to see if there's any damage, checking the damage reports. I'm not seeing anything at the moment. I think that this is going to be something we're going to have to watch pretty close, though, because we already had that area go through, that rotation go through Geneva County. This tightened up on the last scan. So taking you back in time, this is 8:20. We didn't have those gusty winds yet in the Taylor area. Then 8:30, they're approaching. And you see how that red just pops up like that? That's an area that's tightening. That's not good. Take you back to Doppler radar, and I have to check every area of this line sometimes to make sure that nothing is sneaking up on us. So I'm just kind of going through the whole area of this line. It is a long line. It extends through several counties. Still seeing that spot in Geneva County, east of Geneva, where we have to see what's going on with that. So broad rotation east of Geneva, still a couple miles west-southwest of Hartford. That's moving toward Hartford because this is moving toward the northeast, and that's a spot that we're going to have to monitor. And then our next problem is right here. We've been sticking with it over Houston County. And I think maybe this is going to stay at a weak enough threshold where there's not going to be a tornado to spin up, but we've already been alarmed this morning. So this is our problem here. I'm going to show you all the streets in Dothan that I think we can fit on the map comfortably. So Folsom Road up to Fortner, broad rotation, strong, heavy downpours, some gusty winds, some lightning. Want to be in your safe place. On the east side of Dothan, some gusty winds, and up to around the Cowards area. You're about to get into this here in a few minutes. Smyrna, about to also deal with this in just minutes. Looks like it's going to cut right through most of the circle and go up towards Smyrna and then Webb. Last couple scans, all right, that's where it started to tighten. We'll have to see what happens on the next scan. Not seeing any damage done, but that one tornado that went through Geneva County, or one possible tornado, I should say, that went through Geneva County, that one, I hope there was no damage done. I hope everybody was okay from that, because here's what that looked like. Where are we at? Right here, Geneva, right there along Highway 52, that blue spot, and then it carried all the way through Hartford, all the way north of Slocum, move eastward, and then it went into Houston County. So this is the same one that went through Geneva County. It just looks a bit different. It's a bit weaker, but still has the potential to spin back up again. These do that along a line where there's just enough shear and enough energy for it. So I'm going to take you right back here to the circle. This is our main problem, main concern right now, with reflectivity showing heavy rainfall over Dothan. If you're in the town of Dothan, city of Dothan, you're hearing the rain, or somebody in the house is hearing the rain on the roof. Yeah, you can see it right here in this view. It is coming down in downtown, almost the whole circle really. Heavy rainfall. You don't want to try to drive in that because that can be dangerous. I made it to the station before it was raining, but if I were to be driving in it now, that would not be fun. You'd be testing your luck. So don't try to drive in downpours like this unless it's an emergency or you have no choice. But yeah, you can barely see the camera there looking around the Civic Center. So this heavy rainfall all the way through Houston County, moving toward the north and east. So the heaviest is right here over downtown. It's about to move into the eastern, right there, just on the scan. This is exactly where it's going. Spot on, right to the eastern edge of the circle. So starting to light up here in the northeastern area, but then there's some more coming on the heels. So from Highlands Elementary all the way down to the Mullins area, some moderate rainfall, maybe a downpour, but the heaviest stuff now covers almost exactly the eastern side of the circle, and that's also where we're watching for some broad rotation. We're watching to see if anything's going to spin up there. So back to velocity. Right now, that rotation, which is broad, extends all the way from the Mullins area into the far eastern edge of the circle where 84 comes out heading toward the east. So yeah, don't want to try to get around in that. Don't want to go outside in that. And there is a severe thunderstorm warning issued. So maybe just also think about that because there's some gusty winds in the area. Not seeing any damage reports. I'm going through the reports here. So just bear with me. And we're also on Facebook. We're on Facebook and we're live on TV. And we're streaming on the website. So we got you covered on all bases on this Saturday morning. Hopefully everybody had that cup of coffee already before you have to think about making urgent actions. But here is the wide view of Doppler radar. The only warning right now is for far northeastern Geneva County into Houston County with this line that's producing some gusty winds and potential for spin up of a tornado and heavy rainfall and lightning. So we got all the threats except hail. I'm not seeing anything like that. There will be a chance for some hail on Sunday, maybe some small hail. For now, not seeing that. Thank goodness. Hail would be one more thing to have to contend with. Checking correlation coefficient. I'm not seeing evidence of any debris, just kind of making sure we don't miss anything here. Okay, yep. All right, just talking to my director. So we are going to jump off WTVY, and we will stay streaming on Facebook and the website with that tornado threat not happening at the moment. So give us a few seconds here.
This has been a forewarned weather alert.
Hey everybody, meteorologist Zach Hatcher here. I was on TV, live broadcast. Now I'm just on the website, on Facebook, and I'm tracking a tornado threat through the next several hours here this morning. So thanks for joining me on Facebook or checking the website stream. So looking at an area of rotation on the east-southeast side of Dothan, and you can see it from two different, let's go to that here, show you where that is. It's heading right up toward the Smyrna area, not far from Health Sciences Boulevard. Some very heavy rainfall. There's the bullseye for it. Most of Dothan is now just in some light to moderate rainfall, with the worst staying now east of here. I want to go back to Big View, turn on velocity, and make sure I don't miss anything, because these storms can be tricky if you don't pay full attention to them. Okay, so I'm seeing another broad rotation area in northeastern Walton County. And let's go to that. Well, actually, still two. There's one right here west of Slocum, so near the Hartford area. Circle that for you. And then take that off. And here's one that just developed, or is trying to develop. You can try to move both of them. I got two radars I'm looking at, so if I move it just right, I can see. So northeastern edge of Walton County, right near, pretty close to County Road 83. There's a spot we've got to watch. There's 3 areas of rotation. So that one, not close, or pretty close to County Road 83 in Walton County. One right there near Hartford, close to County Road 167. And then another one that's now east of Dothan, heading further into northeastern Houston County. So there's a couple different problem areas on the board this morning. But I love a good challenge. So let's see what we can do here. Zoom this out. So yeah, 3, and they are within the line. So you got a little curve right there over northeastern Walton County. That's where that first one is. It lines up with it. And then you have another one near Hartford, right over Hartford, and there's a slight kink, so that lines up with it. And then another one east of Dothan now. Now the thing is, all 3 of these could spin up something with just enough wind energy in the atmosphere. So we got to stay on these until pretty much that they're gone. So here's the Hartford camera, or what was of the Hartford camera. Let's see if we can see other than just seems like a whiteout of rain. I don't want to call it a whiteout, but I mean you can't see it. So those raindrops really making it look like the trees are trying to blow away. And there is some gusty wind in the area. I'm just, wow. Kind of in awe over this. Pretty good storm going through Hartford, so let's take you right into Hartford. Wow. Yeah, there we are. So possible, a potential rotation that can happen there around the Hartford area if this were to tighten up. Well, actually, I'm already seeing some broad rotation. Right there, Hartford, we got to watch this one closely. South County Road 61 moving up toward County Road 52 over the next few minutes. Right there. That one looks the most threatening right now. And that would move around just north of Slocum if that continues. Let's take that back a few scans. So let's see. Yep, that one could be an issue. All right, there's our latest scan. And since there's 3 to check, let's take you back further toward the east. Or take you back forward toward the west. 2 radars to use. I have to toggle this back and forth. It won't let me do it. Let's try that. Oh, maybe I'm not far enough. It is kind of fickle. All right, yep, so northeastern Walton County. I bet that one needs a warning pretty soon if that continues on its path. And the other one in Geneva County. 2 different products here that we're looking at. This is storm relative. This is velocity. So storm relative takes into account where it subtracts the motion of the storm. It looks more of what's going on within the storm. And then seeing this one here that just went through Dothan, now around the north of Eastgate Park and Cowart, some heavy rainfall, some possible gusty winds, and some lightning. It's moving away from Eastgate Park and moving further toward the Webb area and toward the Pierce area, eventually going to Columbia. But with that subtle kink in the storm, you do have that area that we got to watch closely. All right, let's go back west. So this one over Hartford, still looking like a possible spin up. And another one right there approaching the northeastern edge of Walton County. So monitoring several threats this morning. I don't think there's any warnings on the board right now. Gonna see what's going on, making sure there's no warnings. Yeah, I'm not seeing any warnings right now, but that's not to say that one's not coming over part of this line. And you know, it's Saturday morning, so you might have had some stuff that you were gonna do. If you're in the path of this, then maybe wait it out. Not quite seeing some signs of getting out just yet for people. I wouldn't be getting out if I was in eastern Geneva County, or if I was in the eastern edge of Houston County. I'd probably wait on this, let things lighten up, let it pass. There's that spot right there over Highway 84, just west of Ashford. That's a spot we got to watch, and it would be moving northeast toward Columbia. All right, that's one. And I know I go over the same ones over and over again, but I feel like we need to, because that's what we have going right now. So between Hartford and Slocum, this could spin up, seeing a curve in it, and then further to the west. And I have to zoom out to see that one for some reason. But I can highlight that for you best I can from this view right there over northeastern Walton County, seeing and also an area of potential rotation, potential spin up. There is some rotation there. So, wow, just kind of amazed at this line holding on to 3 spots that could spin up a tornado. We already had a tornado warning in Geneva County that hopefully did not put a tornado on the ground, but it looked like at some point there could have been one in the western part of the county. And if you're on Facebook right now and you have any damage that you can send in, if there is any damage, I've been looking for damage on damage reports, put it in the comments. And there's not a lot of people on right now, but a lot of people may not be awake just yet, especially if you haven't encountered this line, you might not be awake just yet. So, won't hold that against you. But some comments, somebody said windy in Cowarts. This was a minute ago. Somebody said better run. And if you're in the way of this line, run inside. There's a parade about to start in Blakely from one of the comments here. So let's go big view. let's go back to big view, take off this little icon, and let's see, take you into the main chunk of this line. So Blakely, that parade probably isn't going to go very well in the next 20 minutes with this heavy rainfall now on your heels. So if there's a parade going there, I would say that it's going to be impacted for a good 20 minutes while this rain goes through there and possible gusty winds. Not seeing any warnings at the moment. All the warnings have been dropped from the board, but that's not to say that we're out of the woods yet with looking at these different velocity scans. Still seeing a problem area. Well, I got to get closer than that. That's now moving toward the through the Cowarts area, going to move north of Ashford, probably going to miss Webb by a little bit as it threads the needle between Webb and Ashford. That's where the strongest potential is for a spin up. So it's kind of hiding out right there in that kink. If there's going to be something spin up in the next few minutes east of Cowarts, it's going to be right here where that line curves in, and then just making sure, checking all the scans. Here's how that went through town. So very broad as it went through the just east of Winfield Way, the Mullins area, and then once it hit Cowarts, it looked like a smaller area of rotation, but still it is there. So got to get out of the rain here in a sense. And then that Blakely parade, if there's a parade in Blakely, then take you up to Blakely. See how it's raining there and the heavier stuff's on the way? Probably that parade's going to be impacted if it's starting just now or about to start. So I'm sure you're aware of that if you're out there. All right, here's our next one in eastern Geneva County. It is just a spot or two, a spot right there east of Hartford, then another one. All right, looks like that one might be weakening, the one moving through far northern Holmes County. But still 3 spots. Man, this is something else for this line to hold on to these this long, and it's a low end threat. That's what we're seeing, but still for Geneva County, it probably looked like more than that earlier on this morning. So Jane Sims asks, is Taylor in the clear? Take you back to Taylor. And I would say not quite, because there's still part of a line extending from Taylor to Slocum. So no, Taylor's not quite in the clear just yet. Somebody said there's a little wind on Lucy Grade Road. There's a person that measured 3/4 of an inch so far at the Houston-Geneva line on State Highway 103. That's some decent rainfall. Jackson, it depends on where you're at. Is Dothan clear yet? There is this spot here, this little storm in northeastern Geneva County that's going to continue into the Dothan area. So no, Dothan's not quite clear just yet. And I don't want to tell you otherwise and then be wrong here. So this spot around Slocum, this rotation moving down County Road 52 toward Dothan. If that were to continue toward Dothan, then no, Dothan would not be in the clear yet. Cook Road, not sure exactly where that's at. I know a lot of the roads, but Headland. So Headland is getting a little bit of nothing right now. Maybe some wind from this line on the outside of it. But yeah, Headland looks good at the moment, and probably Headland is more likely to be in the clear than Dothan right now. So I would just stay on guard in Headland for a little while as this line passes through. But yeah, Headland looks to be in the clear from what I'm seeing, as long as there's not a shift in this line. Headland looks pretty good at this point. And Midland City looks pretty good. I think the places that are in the clear, if you want an all clear right now, we'll give it to Crenshaw, Pike, Covington County. We'll give it to Coffee County. We'll give it to Okaloosa County, and give it to most of Dale County, and the far northwestern edge of Geneva County. That's where we're giving the all clear to. I'll show it, and I'll draw it for you. How about that? All clear. Write it out. All clear. As this line moves toward the east. Now, it's not to say that there can't be a little shower or two later on this morning, but that severe threat's shifting toward the east as we speak. So there we go. Did not mean to do that. Take you back to velocity. And right now we have to go back to northeastern Houston County, that spot of rotation north of Ashford, just southeast of Webb, and that's moving toward Columbia. That's also co-located with some heavy rainfall. So that matches up with the worst part of that. So right there north of Ashford, be inside, wouldn't be outside during this storm because we already had one potential tornado in Geneva County. Slocum, eastern edge, broad rotation, and then toggling between our radar at Eglin and Fort Rucker, you're seeing just some gusty winds possible on the northwestern side of Holmes County. And then checking Walton County, doesn't look like much to be concerned with right now. I think the main spot that we have to watch is right here east of the city of Dothan over the Ashford area, because that just shows the most potential right now as it's trying to hold together. It just passed North County Road 55 about a minute ago, and it's moving toward the Columbia area. Going to be up near County Road 52 west of Columbia in the next 5 minutes or so. All right, so looking at some comments on Facebook, and I do deeply thank everybody for joining us on Facebook this morning and on the website. And if you watched the live broadcast, I appreciate that as well. I actually didn't have any coffee yet this morning, so I feel like I'm dragging. If you're dragging this morning, probably I'm feeling it too, because I need some coffee. But all right, County Road 53, Henry County. So let's go to Henry County. So Henry County, most of western Henry County in the clear. We're just seeing some heavy rainfall around the Columbia area, up to Freeman, up to Haleburg. And if you're along County Road 134, County Road 95, and yes, County Road 53, it's kind of hard to see there. So County Road 53 on the southeastern side of Henry County, I wouldn't go outside yet because there's some heavy rainfall, but I'm not seeing any rotation there, but just some heavy rainfall, maybe some lightning and thunder. So I wouldn't go outside, Vicki, just yet if you're pretty close to the Freeman area. And then let's see here. Jane, you're having your coffee now? Good. Have a cup for me too. Sarah in around the Pansy area. Right now, nothing, but this line is coming towards you. And look, here's how it's moving, okay? So, taking you through the time lapse, it looked like for a minute that there was going to be something spin up along 52 just on the southwest side of the circle. That looked pretty ominous. And then as it crossed the circle, I think, it weakened a bit once it hit the eastern side. Thank goodness, because that could have been more than what it was. But for the Pansy area, there still will be some heavy rainfall possibly going through the morning. So for the next few minutes in Pansy, you look okay. But I would just keep watching what's going on. On the east side by Flowers, all right, let's go back. Here's the circle. So most of the circle getting some moderate to heavy rainfall, and that's going to continue for the next several minutes here. All right, Jane, thanks for having a cup of coffee for me too. I like interacting with y'all on here. It makes me feel like I'm hanging out with y'all in real life, but we'll do through the camera at this point. But yeah, about 200 people on here, so if we can get some more on here, that's more people alerted. I'm going to go back to Big View, and this line is just coming through Geneva and Houston County. Zoom in, check the line for rotation. All right, we got this spot in eastern Geneva County. I know we've talked about Geneva County for 2 hours now, just about, or almost 2 hours, or you've been in the threat for a long time this morning, but still we have this spot west of Rehoboth, and then another one moving now northeast of Ashford, coming up toward North County Road 33 and getting closer to the Columbia area. Hopefully that one doesn't spin up. But this cell is the one that I'm now going to watch for a little bit here. Broad rotation at best. Well, hopefully that's the only one we get to look at right now. But we're watching 3. Just bear with me this morning because I have to analyze as I go through here. So yeah, right here, heavy rainfall, some lightning, some thunder. I'm not seeing a lot of lightning in this, but there's some. And that's pretty close to North County Road 33. That's where, looks like a change in the pixel color there. Got to keep an eye on that one. Jane, thank you so much for that comment. I do what I can. We do what we can here at News 4. We have the tools that we have, and then the weather's going to do what it's going to do. But we do our best to track it, stay on top of it until the threat is gone. Parade delayed in Blakely. Yep, Sheila, I was afraid of that because that heavy rainfall, potential gusty winds in the area, you got to account for that. So parade's not going to go very well. Good thing they delayed the parade. Daniel, thanks so much for saying that. That means a lot. And I hope everything's going well in Taylor. Jackson Powell, thank you too. Thank you as well. Let's see here. Just checking all our damage reports. So if I cut out for a few seconds, the audio's not bad. It's just making sure don't miss anything. I'm looking at our sky cams. A lot of rain coming down in Hartford. Seems like that's been over and over again this morning. Yeah, there's that camera right there in Hartford. Just rain for miles over the flat area there. So going back through the time lapse through Houston County, that area of rotation moving toward the north and east, that's our motion. 2 different velocity views. And it's something to watch because it's hiding out near that little curve near North County Road 33 where the storm tries to curve up. And that could be where a tornado tries to hide. Okay, that weakened on the last scan. Just watching this closely. We've been surprised before by brief spin-up tornadoes. I think every TV station in the Southeast has been surprised by it at least once, because that's what they do. They try to surprise people, but we don't want that to happen. So, Jackson, yep, I'm sure you've probably seen some of us out before. Yeah, maybe, or maybe you're friends with some of us. It's we try to talk to people when we're out in public because, we're just regular people too. Sheena and Abbeville. All right. Let's go to Abbeville. Slowly but surely. Abbeville looks good right now. Yeah, I'm thinking all clear for now, maybe for the rest of the morning. And Shorterville looks in good shape too. Echo, Clio, Ozark looking in good shape with this line. I want to put up some temperatures. I haven't showed temperatures yet, but I do want to show them. Where are they? Right here. So here's what's happened this morning. We've been warm all morning. Dew points have been high, very high, upper 60s and low 70s. Winds right now are coming mainly out of the southwest, 10 to almost 20 in spots, mainly in our eastern county. But this front's not going to quite bring in cooler air like some fronts do. It's going to be very subtle of a front. It's mainly just these storms coming in. But we're not out of the woods yet on this tornado threat. Looks like there's going to be a tornado warning possibly for northeastern Houston. Oh, there it is. All right, there we are. All right. Yeah. Okay.
This is a forewarned weather severe weather alert.
All right, everybody, I'm meteorologist Zach Hatcher. We have a tornado warning for northeastern Houston County extending into a big chunk of central Early County. I've been tracking storms this morning, potential tornadoes. This one looks to be something of concern. So let's get in closer here. And it looks like there could be another one coming for the Rehoboth area too. So we might have two. But for now, we have this little couplet. It's trying to tighten up, put a circle on it so you can see what I'm talking about. It's not very big, but these don't have to be. It's just around North County Road 33, moving toward County Road 95 in eastern Houston County. This is one that you need to be in your safe place for, getting to the lowest room of your house, away from windows, walls, and doors. If you've got a basement, that's the best idea here. But it looks like it's tightening up as we speak, so that tornado warning has been issued heading into the far northeastern edge, eastern edge of Houston County. So you want to be taking refuge from this one. It's about to cross over 95 that extends up to Columbia on the fringe of this tornado warning. So take it seriously, take it like it is a tornado on the ground, because it could very well spin up one. That's a tight couplet. Doesn't look good. It's a small one, but it's a tight couplet. So let's do some analysis here. And thanks for joining us this morning. Hopefully everybody's having a good start. This isn't the way to do it, but I guess it's all about perspective. So here we are. Let's check the correlation coefficient to see if there's anything there. Not seeing any true evidence of debris, maybe some being thrown around with some gusty winds, but this is right now where that main spot is. It's very small, about to cross Highway 95 south of the Columbia area, and that warning extends all the way into Early County. So Salhatchie, Damascus, Hilton Road in that tornado warning, Lucille on the edge of it, Spooner Quarter Road in the warning as well, and I got to make sure there's not another one being issued along the way here. So, oh man, our next problem looks to be in western Houston County, southwest of the southwest side of the circle. There's no warning on that one just yet, but got to watch this one right here around Rehoboth, just south of Taylor. That's going to move toward the southern part of the circle here over the next few minutes. Maybe that one doesn't require a tornado warning, but this one does, and that one looked a lot like the one I just showed you. So right here, good rotation showing up over County Road 95 now, crossing County Road 95. Make sure that you phone somebody, text them if they're right there near the 95 road there, and make sure they get in a safe place, because this could be a tornado on the ground. If anything, it's we're going to call it a potential tornado because of the nature of this line and the ingredients that we have this morning. So treat it like it's real, because it could very well become real. There's another view of it. There is very close gate-to-gate shear. That couplet is touching, and it is moving toward the Hilton area. It's going to be moving quickly out of Houston County, moving toward Hilton. If you know anybody in Hilton, or if you're in Hilton, make sure that you get in your safe spot. And we're on Facebook too. We're streaming on the website. Oh man, that one strengthened even more. Taking you through the time lapse here. You can see that those bright colors, the green, the red. See how it comes together, and it's trying to hold on. So it's weakening, it's strengthening, it's weakening. It goes through cycles. Whenever it strengthens, it can come back down again in intensity, and then it can go right back up in intensity again. That's what we're seeing this morning. But we have different tools, different views. Maybe I can check it from different radars. I have to toggle it way down if it'll let me do it. Well, it's too far from the Tallahassee radar to see, but that's the only way it'll let me see it from that radar. Another spot southwest of the southwest side of the circle in Dothan, about to cross 231. Broad rotation there. It's hiding out in that curved area. So what we're seeing, and I'll pop back right up here on the main camera to show you this. So in a line of storms that has just enough shear for a low and severe threat, that's what we're seeing this morning. Tornado warning, not for the city of Dothan. I want to point that out, but there's a threat just close to 231 here. You need to be on guard around the Dothan area still. This area of rotation heading just close to the early Houston County line, and then moving up further into Early County. And then this other spot right here, that is an area, got to watch that spot right there. And then there's another one right here on the Holmes-Geneva County line. That one doesn't look as impressive, but it is moving again. Another one moving through Geneva County here in just a bit, just a spot to monitor closely. This is our only tornado warning for now, though, so make sure that you are taking it seriously, because you just never know at this time of year. It is severe weather season, and you got to be careful. You don't want to play around with these things. And I think that's probably our only three for now. Let's go back to this tornado warning. Zoom in closer here. So it is weakening. That's good. But for a while, it looked like it was going to spin one up. Right there over North County Road 75, it looked like it was going to put something down. And then once it got to 95, it started to dissipate. Now that storm's moving closer to moving now through Early County, Salhatchee, Damascus, Hilton Road, Spooner Quarter Road, all in this warning, but the southern edge of this warning doesn't look to be in a threat. We're sticking mainly on the northeastern side of this warning for the main threat now. So I think they're going to scale back this tornado warning. Ashford probably will be pulled out of this warning here in a few minutes, hopefully, because that threat is now passed out of the way. Not to say that there won't be another threat in the Ashford area, but for now, that thing, that the area of rotation that prompted that warning, now moving into, all right, so good. Ashford's now out of that warning, just like I thought. That's some good news there. And Webb not in that warning. So I see somebody saying sirens and Webb. Webb, you're not in any immediate threat. Maybe those sirens, those pesky, well, they're not pesky, but those important sirens will go off here in just a little bit. So now that tornado warning is confined to Early County, the center of the county, and I'm not seeing evidence that there's any decent rotation anymore in that. So that might be short-lived. And then take you back to the western side of the county for any potential threats here. Still Rehoboth with that chance of something spinning up right there, and then another one moving into Geneva County, right near the Black area, Black in Geneva County. A spot there we got to watch, and then I think that might be it. And as always, thanks for hopping on here with this tornado threat this morning. Not a good way to start Saturday morning. And we do have the threat for some storms Sunday as well. So make sure that you don't let that catch you off guard. Rehoboth, yeah, you still have an area of rotation near you. So I'm watching that. Got a report from one of our viewers that there's power lines down in Edsel Deese Road in Ashford. Okay, some power lines could be down just based on an unconfirmed report, so it's something that we're checking into, that there could be some power lines down at Ashford. And everybody has been watching from Houston County, it seems, this morning, and as they should. All right, so look, that doesn't look good. That one's trying to, near the National Peanut Festival, there's that spot here where the couplet's trying to come together, so I'll point that out for you. NPF, National Peanut Festival, right here on 231. So this is going to be something to watch here as it crosses 231 right near the National Peanut Festival. That'll continue getting closer to Eastgate Park if that holds together. It's not a good morning with these storms. With the potential tornado that moved through Geneva County and then a couple more tornado warnings, we are not in the clear for a lot of us this point in the morning here. And we are on live broadcasts. We're on Facebook. We're on the website. We got you covered on all bases. Lightning in some of this. I'm going to check correlation coefficient. Hopefully this one here doesn't spin up near the National Peanut Festival. And go back to this tornado warning for Early County near Damascus Hilton Road, pretty close to where the main threat is. Salhatchee, and some heavy rainfall, Rock Hill. Go back to Big View. Take this off here. So if you're in if you're in central parts of Early County, and then this could continue into eastern Early County, I would be aware of what's going on. I'm not seeing any immediate tornado threat in Early County. We'll go back one more time and check our different products here. I'm just not seeing evidence of an actual tornado on the ground. So hopefully that warning can be dropped. But I'm concerned about this one near the National Peanut Festival. Might stay on a few more minutes here before we just cut it to Facebook to make sure that these don't try to form a tornado. We have just enough wind energy in the atmosphere, just enough shear to spin up some stuff, and that's what we've had. We've had some possible funnel clouds maybe. Without looking at them, that's what it would probably show me on radar. And then maybe that one potential tornado in Geneva County, and I hope that there was not one. But at one point, it looked like there was one. Yep, somebody on Facebook said the one at National Peanut Festival we need to watch. I totally agree with that because then that's heading closer to the eastern side, or east of Dothan, where there's a lot of little communities there. So always something to pay attention to checking the different velocity views. I want to toggle different radars on and off. We can check the Eglin radar, but it doesn't let us do it unless we're far away from it. So that's the only problem here. But if you're in central Early County, south of Blakely, get in your safe place, because there is a pretty bad storm in your area with this tornado warning. And hopefully that's dropped here in just a little bit. Yeah, this National Peanut Festival one doesn't look great. It does concern me as it moves closer to Eastgate Park, moving northeast to Eastgate Park. So if you're in that area, I would just get inside, get everybody inside, because you don't know what this is going to do over the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then it would head up toward Ashford. So it seems like the same areas are getting hammered over and over again. I think I'll jump off here for now, off broadcast. And if we need to come back to, all right, that tornado warning was dropped for Early County. So no warnings on the board. I'm not seeing any imminent spin-ups. We'll jump off broadcast right now, but we will stay on Facebook and streaming on the website. And, we'll be on here immediately if there's any kind of tornado threat again. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully I don't see you again this morning, but there's a chance that I will. Everybody stay safe this morning.
This has been a forewarned weather alert.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on Facebook. I'm meteorologist Zach Hatcher. You've probably been watching a little bit this morning so far. Maybe you're just now jumping on, but we do have potential for some tornadic storms within this line, some spin-ups possible. I want to show you right now what happened in Geneva County. So we'll take it back 2 hours. Here is how the morning started in Geneva County around 7:20, 7:25. So there's that spot going over 87, and then it moved right near the Geneva area, and then it moved up to 167, and then it began to fall apart as it got closer to Dothan. That could have been a potential tornado at times. I don't see any true evidence that it was, but I'm going to check our correlation coefficient, which is what we use to see if there's any debris being thrown into the air. And we can follow that spot. So there could have been a tornado on the ground. I'm not seeing reports that there was one. It's not completely evident, but I just hope that so far there's been nothing. Let's go back to velocity here. And if I sound like I'm dragging this morning, I didn't have any coffee, and I know that's not a good excuse, but hey, you know what? Maybe it is a good excuse. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for joining us, though. We've got over 100 comments on Facebook from people that are concerned, that are watching. If you're concerned, give us a comment on here. Geneva County Emergency Management Agency, hail in Hartford. Well, that is not good. Let's look at our hail tracking tool. Thank you for commenting on here. I do appreciate that. And we have a hail tracking tool as long as it works. Let's see if we can get it to work. It's not doing anything right now, but it would be right there, probably on the east, southeast side of Hartford, where those brighter reds, darker reds are showing up. So yeah, you don't want to mess with any hail. There's some broad rotation in Esto moving toward County Road 103. There's some around Cottonwood and north of Cottonwood and east of Rehoboth. That's going to move closer to the Ashford area. There's that storm that moved through Early County. I think for now there's nothing too crazy happening from what I'm seeing here. There's that little kink right here, right there. Got to watch that one closely because there could be something spin up within that. For the moment, though, I'm not seeing anything. Esto with the spot there, and then crossing County Road 53 with an area of rotation there. And really, it's just this line that's broken in nature, but still, it's a pretty good line. And it's coming through the eastern edge of the Wiregrass over the next 2 hours at least. So Debbie said, since when do we get a warning for the possibility of a tornado? Every time it rains, Alabama is under panic. Well, I know that storm anxiety is real, and it's not fun. It's not something that anybody enjoys. But Debbie, there can be a tornado warning for the possibility of a tornado. It happens a lot, and it saves lives. Sometimes that tornado doesn't quite verify, but when it does and they issued the warning for the possibility of a tornado, I'm sure they're glad that they did, and I'm glad that they did whenever that happens. So unfortunately, that's just how that is, and there's no better way to do that. Sometimes whenever there's that possibility, looks like something could be tightening up, there is a warning issued for that sometimes, and sometimes that does verify. Hopefully that helps out. Arturo with some coffee in hand. All right, got some coffee. And that's what we need this morning to get out of this mess. Oh, man. Take it back here to central Houston County, about to move toward the east, toward Ashford. County Road 53 with some heavy rainfall around Eastgate Park, a few lightning strikes. And there is a potential for some hail this morning, probably some small hail. So don't let that catch you off guard if you hear some small hailstones hitting your house, because there's been some hail around the Hartford area. And our friends at the Emergency Management Agency in Geneva County got to experience that, I believe. So hail is possible. It's not our main threat. Our main threat will be a spin-up tornado. Even the winds aren't that strong. There's some gusty winds, but they're not that strong. That same area of rotation that went through Early County is now moving toward central and eastern Early County, and it looks like it might be trying to hold on. That's where that tornado warning was issued. Right now, though, my main concern is right here north of Cottonwood, getting close to the Eastgate Park area, and then we'll soon be near Ashford. I think that we can jump off here for a moment, Kenneth, but is there any way to come back on here in the next 5 minutes or so? Okay, we might jump off here for about, yes. Okay. Yeah, we'll leave this radar streaming, no audio, for about 5 to 6 minutes, somewhere around there, and then I'll jump back on here if there's still some danger after 5 or 6 minutes. So probably be talking to you all in just a little bit. Hey everybody, meteorologist Zach Hatcher back here again just to give you a quick update. Not seeing any immediate tornado threats, but we still have that severe storm threat. Could be a brief spin up here over the next hour or so. We've already had a few areas that had some pretty strong rotation, so wouldn't rule it out completely. But here's what we're seeing right now on radar. This is big view. That line, now more broken than what it was an hour or two ago, extends all the way from eastern parts of Okaloosa County up into parts of Early County, with the heaviest rainfall now over Houston County. I'll zoom in and show you right here over Houston County some heavy downpours just southeast of Dothan. Some heavy rainfall in eastern Geneva County, and then there's a downpour too in Early County. There is a severe thunderstorm warning issued. I'm not seeing any damaging wind gusts. These are issued sometimes whenever there's potential for a spin up, and they're issued for damaging gusts. They're also issued for things that shouldn't be issued for. We have to always figure out what they were issued for. So right now I'm thinking this was issued for just some broad rotation that's on the southeast side of the circle, and I will take you in closer here. So just some broad rotation east of Highway 53 that will be moving toward the east-northeast, so probably heading toward 84 near Gordon in the next, let's see, this is 9:45. Probably in the next 20 minutes or so, heading toward the Gordon area. Right now, the main thing with this is just there's some heavy rainfall. So if you are around the Gordon area, you got some rain on the north side of town, but there's some heavier stuff coming just on your heels. So we'll be watching that closely. I did go get some coffee, so feeling a little better now. Thanks for popping on here. Still have about 100 people on here, so that's good. But yeah, just know that we are on Facebook, we're on streaming on the website, and we will pop on live TV if we need to. For now, I think we're not quite at that threshold, but just some winds that are trying to come together here. Doesn't look like much rotation. And on both views of our velocity products, I'm seeing that. Nothing on correlation coefficient. Just a lot of lightning in this. You're seeing the little white dots. Those are lightning strikes. So if you're in Gordon, you're hearing this coming from the west. You want to get inside. Don't want to try to mess with that. And Gordon, and right now just northeast of Cottonwood, kind of in that line, that's what we're seeing this. So I'll put the line on it, moving toward the east-northeast, so getting close to 84 in Gordon, and then that'll move into Early County. The cycle continues. It's really just because of how this line is moving. When it's moving almost due east, but slightly east-northeast, the same spots can be hit over and over again, and that's what's happened. We had Geneva County get hit 2 or 3 times in the same places this morning. Hartford, at least 2 rounds in Hartford, and maybe 3, but I'll take this back here an hour. So downpour over Hartford, still going, and then there's a break, and then there's some more rain on the way. So I'm sure that if you're watching in Hartford, you're not too happy about this right now. Heavy rain and lightning in Ashford now. Thanks, Glenda, for chiming in. Appreciate that. And I definitely see that. So if you're in Ashford, you want to be inside. You don't want to be driving through this. You don't want to be driving from Gordon to Ashford in the next 10 minutes because that's some heavy rainfall. I wouldn't want to mess with that. Doesn't matter how good of a driver you are. That's going to be coming down on your windshield for sure. Glenn and Cowart's getting louder. Yep, you got that lightning, you got that thunder. Pansy, some heavy rainfall all the way from South Rocky Creek Road from Ashford down to East County Road 8, getting hammered with that rain. And south of Dupree, the heaviest rainfall right there in a very dark red color. Could even be some small hail. We did have some small hail reported in the Hartford area, and wherever you're getting those brighter, darker colors, I mean, there could be some small hail. The hail tracking tool, I'm not getting it to work for some reason. But rainfall's been coming down, and it will continue. So that rotation looks less threatening. That's good. Maybe we can get a break from this. Well, we got a little bit right there just west of Esto. Doesn't look like too much. For now, just the big deal is this rainfall is hammering eastern Geneva and Houston County. So be safe out there. Crystal, Rehoboth, no, didn't forget about you. We don't forget about anybody. It's just whenever there's several locations being impacted, we do our best to address them all. But no, Crystal, we didn't forget about you in Rehoboth, if you're listening still. We want everybody to be safe and be aware of what's going on. So just analyzing as I talk to you here. That severe thunderstorm warning in Houston County, I don't think it's completely necessary for all of that area to be in it. I'm not seeing the winds to be at the threshold they need to be, which is about 58 miles per hour. There's just some gusty winds, gust up to 40, probably maybe 45 around Cottonwood. Not enough to do much damage. And I'm checking a couple other things as well. For the tornado threat, there's no tornado watch in effect. So we've been doing this without a tornado watch. We've just had the warnings with no watch. I'm sure that threw a lot of people off that there wasn't a watch issue, and then all of a sudden there's tornado warnings. We did mention that there was a low and severe threat this morning, and that low and severe threat is verifying. Not what we want to see, but for now, I think that we're going to be in the clear. I'll jump back on here if I need to. I don't see enough evidence to stay on here for long duration. But thanks for joining us on Facebook, on the website, and on TV when I was on there a little while ago. Pansy, just some heavy rainfall. Your tornado threat is pretty low at this moment here. Just not completely zero. So I'll jump back on here if I need to. Everybody stay safe, and I'm watching through the morning. And we'll see you back here in just a little bit. We still will stream radar until we think that there's no need for it anymore. Hopefully I don't see you again soon.